Welcome to Dragonfly Trading. My name is Carrie, and I'm a full-time Elliott Wave trader in the crypto and Forex markets. Today's video is going to be an update on Bitcoin and ETH. I wanted to get this out as quick as possible. Remember, this is not financial advice. This is just the way that I trade the market and the way that I look at it. Quickly, I just wanted to show you my website here. It's very easy, tells you about me. If you are interested in knowing what the market does, what it can do, where to put your stop loss, if you're interested in a solid system, just go to my website. Very easy. Pick your plan. I have a basic plan where if you just want TA every day, you want a live stream every morning, you want to know what the market can do today, basic plan. If you want to be grandfathered into my course that's going to be coming out, $98 plan. And the mentorship plan. If you want a one-on-one with me every single week to walk you through hand by hand, that would be the membership. And then we have discounts on 3 months and 6 months, okay? I would love to have you. Our family would love to have you. All right, let's move right along here. Bitcoin. What are we doing? We've dumped. Well, in my last video, I talked about possible leg to the upside here. We're still going to talk about it. But we were hanging on by a thread here. By a thread when the Feds announced they were raising interest rates and I forget the name of the country, but mining, gas prices, whatever it was. Anyway, we rolled over. Okay? So let's talk about what is going on. What can be these counts, okay? And regardless of Elliott Wave, I'm an Elliott Wave trader. I love Elliott Wave because it tells me exactly what the market can do down to the 1 minute time frame. But regardless, we know we have gigantic support right here. We have big support. So I do expect some kind of bounce in here. Whether we hold this support and bounce or we come down here and bounce. In my prior videos, I've talked about if we don't get out of here in a 5-wave move, if we just keep making 3 waves, okay, that we're going to roll over again. That still holds true. We have got to make a 5-wave move to get out of here. And it's got to meet requirements or a leading diagonal. Not to confuse you, but a leading diagonal is also a pattern that we can make to get out of here because it can be a wave 1. Okay? So, but we have this huge support. This is the support that I think will hold us, if not enough to get out of here, but at least enough to give us a relief bounce. But let's talk about the counts. So we are assuming 2 things. One, that we're making a correction like this, whether it's an ABC or it's a WXY, and that at some point, whether it's this support or this support, or we even break this low, that this is the correction, and then we're going to come out of here in a gigantic 5th wave. That is first assumption, that this is a gigantic 4th wave and that we're eventually going to get a big 5th to the upside. And it also, I've seen some counts where we're still calling this inside of here a 5-wave move. Yes, there's nothing invalid about it being a 5-wave move, which means it's either the end of something or the start of something. It being the start of something, does not get invalidated until we break this low. So either way, if we end up bouncing out of here in a 5-wave move and we go on with our 5th, we will determine whether this is a 1 later because we can't determine it right now. Meaning this would be the wave 1 of our big 5th. If that is the case, and that is the wave 1, we're looking at a tremendously big 5th coming. If this is the wave 1 of it, which is possible. Or it's the end of something, meaning that it's a 5th wave and we are starting a much bigger 4th wave in here. Or worst, absolute case scenario, it's the end of the bull run and we're looking at being in a bear market for a while. That's our options right there. Okay. But let's take it one step at a time, because anyone who says that they know whether this is a wave 1 or they know that it's a 5th, there's no way to know. And it also is very much so because I hate this little 3-wave move right here. I've always hated it. If you've been watching my videos for a while, you know how much I hate that 3-wave move. So this can very easily be an ABC in here. Whether it ends here or here. Okay. And that's what this big middle correction is about, is the fact that this was an ABC in the middle and it was a 3-wave move. So that's our options, guys. That's it. Okay, so let's, for now, we know that this could be a 5th wave, but what matters right now is what's happening here. What are we doing here? Right? That's the most important thing. What correction we're in, or if we're going to get the 5th wave and all of that, all depends on what we're doing here. So this is most important. So when you pull a fib extension from this high to this low back up, we've got the 618 sitting here, and we've got the 1-to-1 sitting here, and the 1.236 sitting here. If we're assuming we're making the correction like that, that is the fib levels that we would be looking at. Okay. So let's get in a little closer here. So we have a couple of options here. We have the option that we created a 3, and a 5, or a 3, it doesn't matter, but it was a 3-wave move, creating a W. Then we bounced for 3, creating an X. And now we are making what's called a zigzag that's going to create a Y. That's possible, guys, but here's something we have to think about. When we pull a fib extension on that move, a WXY really shouldn't even touch the 618, but I accept it touching the 618. It really shouldn't go past the 1.382. So if we're doing WXY, we need to stop here. We need to hold this support, and we need to either get out of here in a 5-wave move or bounce in 3. If we bounce in 3, it just turns it into a bigger 3, 3, and then we go down again in 3 or 5. Okay? If we don't get out of here in 5 waves, we're coming back to the downside. WXY count, we've got to hold this support here. WXYs do not go past the 1.618. They really don't usually touch them. Okay. Now, if it's not WXY, then we most likely are making what's a 1, a 2. This hit a perfect 1.618. This was a 4. And then we're coming down to 5, and we'll most likely come down here in this support somewhere. This is on the table. Okay. But I have one more count in the arsenal here. Okay. Because this looks awfully funky to be a 5-wave move. No, the 4 didn't come into the 1, but it came awfully close. And when we pull time on this 4, if it is a 4, it went way past where a 4th wave usually hits. A 4th wave, and I know this is kind of scrunched together, but a 4th wave usually hits 0.25 to 0.33 right in here. This would have been the perfect 4th wave. But we carried it all the way out to the 1. Not that it's invalid. It can go that far. It's just, it doesn't usually happen. And it just looks funky to me. So what else can it be? Well, the leg that I've been talking about for so long, white leg, is still on the table. Where we get white leg, which is yellow right now. We get a 3-wave move to the bottom that it can even break the low, and then we get white leg back up. What would that create? It would create a zigzag, a 3-wave, and then at that point, we would either come down in 3 or we'd come down in 5. Probably to the 1-to-1, depending on how high this went. The higher, the better. Definitely. So let's talk about this move. Now, I don't know if you remember where this was, but I remember it fully. And I won't get into what happened, but this candle here, or candles, will be forever embedded in my memory. And I'll tell you quickly, I attempted to go long, and somehow I threw myself into 8 separate shorts. I still to this day don't know how it happened, but this was a very wreckage of Carrie's account. So I will forever be in my memory. But let's take a look at these two. This was Bitcoin back in October of 19. We were coming down in a correction. At this point right here, we were breaking the lows, just like we are now. Exact same scenario. Okay? We had 3 waves to the upside. At the time, it looked like we were making a potential zigzag to the downside. We were not sure whether this was going to be a 1 and a 2, and it was going to tank down for a 3, 4, 5. And at the time, that's what we thought. We were breaking the bottom, and we thought we were coming down in a 1, a 2, and we thought this was going to give us a big 3, 4, 5. No, no, no. It hit the expanded B pocket, which is this pocket right here. And here we go, blast off with a big candle. And what this actually is a 3-3-5 flat. This took all the shorts out from way back here in a very quick blast off to the upside. What do we have going on right now, guys? We have 3 to the upside. We have potentially 3 to the downside, that we are looking at it the same way, that we could get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and come right through here, completely take the wick out, which on some exchanges we have not, on some we have. They're all going to be different. But we need to take into consideration that at the time we had this bullish divergence. Right now we have the bullish divergence. And this candle can come. And it is white leg that I've been talking about for so long. So basically, it's the same thing. 3, 3, and we could get a candle to the upside. That either, well, basically, let's see how high it can go. And that's assuming that we stop right where we're at. We don't have to stop right where we're at. The expanded pocket comes all the way down. Okay. This leg right here can come down into any one of these fib extensions. It just cannot hit the 1.618. So what do? Stop loss goes right underneath the 1.618. Because hitting it is invalidation for this being a B. So we can stop here. We could hit this extension, or we could come down further. But assuming we stop here, and we're going to go down on the low time frame and look and see what's going on, it can be as wimpy as hitting the 618 and making a running flat where we don't break the top of the A. Please keep that in mind. The market has been bearish. It can give us a very wimpy leg. Hit the 618 and roll over again. Or it can hit any one of these fib extensions all the way up to the 2.618. And that's exactly what this one did. It wicked the 2.618. Now, will it come that high? I cannot say, guys. It can hit any one of these. Or it can be wimpy and hit the 618. But this is still on the table. So let's go back to the other chart, and this is what it would look like. Okay, so we could come down lower, and then we could come up and either give us a big leg or a very wimpy leg that bonks its head on resistance right here. Okay, and this would end up being 3, 3, and then we would get 5 or 3 to the downside. So what if this doesn't happen and we just keep tanking? Which that is possible too. But the setup is so foolproof. Complete 100% validation is right under the 1.618. Okay? So if it tanks through, it tanks through. But to me, with the divergence that we are building on the 12-hour here, You might be asking me, why am I not using the wick? Because my RSI is set for candle closes. We have it on the 12. We very close to wiping it out on the 8, but we still have it. 4. On the 4 hour, we have it from back here. And do we have it from here? Oh, we have it right here. We have it between these two pivots, which is a good, these two pivots. Okay. 1 hour is a little low, but hey, let's take a look. And then the 1 hour, we have built divergence between these two lows. And we're going to talk about this little bouncity bounce, okay? Because depending on what time frame this dump is trending on, it may take several 1 hour divergences to turn this market. Okay? Okay. So that is on the table, guys. All right. So let's go down here and let's take a look at what this bounce is. Don't usually go down to this low of a time frame on the videos, but hey, let's do it. Okay. If this is going to give us anything here, we need, okay, if this is going to do anything, we have to give me a little trouble there. Create a 1, a 2. This has to get up to the 1.618, then a 4, and then a 5. That gets to the 2.236. This is how an impulse wave works. This is the kind of things you'll learn in my Discord. Okay? So right now as it stands, I know that if it doesn't do this, then this is a zigzag ABC that could even go to the 1.618, maybe one more hit to the high, and we're rolling over. It absolutely has to do just what I showed in white. If it does that, then we have the chance to come back with a pullback here. Stop loss at the low. To take this for the other 5. And what do I mean by that? What starts with 5 ends with 5. So we're going to get one of two things. If it completes the 5-wave move, we're either going to get a zigzag, 5, 3, 5. Okay? Or we're going to get something that we really want, which is a 1, a 2, 3, 4, 5. And what would that be if it happened? That would be white leg either very wimpy white leg, okay, because I told you that white leg could hit the 618 and be very wimpy and bonk its head on this resistance, or it's just the first wave of white leg, and white leg would get big, okay? But it all starts with this has to complete right here. This has to complete this white 5-wave move. And that's the beauty of Elliott Wave, to know what can lead into what, into what, into what, and know where your invalidations are, where to put your stop loss, and how to play this wave by wave leading into wave by wave, okay? If it doesn't make this white move, okay, even one more hit to the high, it can just roll right over and we're going to keep going to the downside. But remember, we do have further down we can come in this expanded B scenario. Okay, let's move on to ETH before this video is very long. Okay, so I was taking a look at ETH really closely. And we've been calling this an A, a 3-wave B, and a C to the downside. The only way that that count can be the count is if we made a flat right in here. A, B, C. Okay? So this count is completely valid. Okay? And let's talk about if this is the count. Which would mean we started off this downward correction with a 3-wave move. Now, we have come down so far in what looks like a WXY. We've got 3, 3, and now this is either going to be 5 or it's going to be 3. If it's going to be 3, it's got to stop here. If it's going to be the WXY, okay, we have 3, 3, and then 3. But it can't go past where it's currently wicked, because a WXY should not go past the 1.382. If it does, it simply means that we're changing this into an ABC, and it's just labeling basically 3, 3, and then this is going to turn into 5 if we come down another notch. Okay? Here's the thing. Where is this one's partner? Now, we've got two options. It can either mean that we made 3 for a W, we made 3 up for an X, and now we're making 3 down for a Y, which means we would have a complete correction that's over, if that is the case. But what does it also mean? It means that we have to get out of here in a 5-wave move. We have to. If we don't, and we create some type of flat here, then what happens is this correction gets prolonged, and all of this turns into one move, and then we get an X, and then we get a Y. Okay? It's about getting out of here in 5 waves. We have to. If we want this to end, we have to get out of here in 5 waves. If we want this correction to be over here very soon with a 3, an X wave, and then a 3. We have to get out of here in 5. So let's talk about one other scenario. So I was looking at this very closely, and I was thinking to myself, well, what if we didn't do that move there? What if we made an A, a B, a 3-wave move up for B, and this is C? Because this move right here is 5 waves, and it 100% qualifies as a truncated 5th where we didn't break the high. And what would that mean if that is the case and we didn't actually make the 3-wave move like this? It would mean that the correction that we're making has started from here. If that is the case, then this move to the downside is 100% to me a 5-wave move. So if this is a truncated 5th, it means that we came down in 5 waves here, and this is the start of the correction. And what does it also mean? What starts with 5 ends with 5. So it means that we've started with 5, and we're about to make another 5, whether it be a zigzag, and let's hope for that if this is the count, that we just do A, B, C, which would most likely have another low because it doesn't look like it's complete. Or the more uglier scenario, unfortunately, is that this is a 1. This is a 2, and now we've begun 1, 2, we're going to go 3, 4, 5, and we're going to get much lower. Okay? Projections are, and this was at no overextended waves. Is right here at the 1.382. Okay? If we make this 5-wave move like this, what starts with 5 ends with 5, and we're going to bounce and come down for another 5. Now, I don't mean to scare you with these ugly bear scenarios, but this is possibly on the table. That this ended with a truncated 5th, and this is starting with a 5-wave move. But we don't have to make this ugly 5-wave move here. We can totally make a zigzag. We have to wait and see what it does. Okay? Right now on ETH, on the 8-hour, we've lost our bullish divergence, unfortunately. On the 12-hour, we've lost it. 4-hour, we are still holding it here, which that is a good sign that we could potentially, if we don't make the 5 waves here, we could potentially roll over and then bounce. Okay. So that is it, guys. Hope you enjoyed this video. Hope it was informative. And I just want to say at the end here that I appreciate everyone that has watched my videos to the end. I know that I don't, or that I haven't been able to answer every one of you personally, but I want to personally thank every single one of you for watching my videos to the end. And I hope you have a wonderful day.